Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. Today we're focusing in on a serious matter, highlighting the importance of official documents, the ME autopsy report, but the slight shortcoming in regard to some of the details which aren't exactly true. Whilst people put their hands up, hopes and praise to the official documents being the truth, that's not always the case. Mistakes were made, and even if it's small scale, it needs to be acknowledged just to spread that awareness so that in the future, if anything else does come out, you take it with a level of caution. Because if people check official documents for the very first time and that's all they rely on, that's what they will believe in, and they won't know the supposed real truth. So join me today as I share with you a small example, but then scale off from that, scale upwards to the different possibilities. And I can interpret it in a particular way, which I think most people will agree with, but nevertheless, we look at it from different avenues and perspectives, different possibilities, because you never know. This is in regard to the theme of Noah Presgrove and his girlfriend. As for who his girlfriend was, well, we've heard different names coming out of the hat. Originally, it was Avery Combs, also known as Avery Howard, the birthday girl. It was mentioned like that in the early days. I think possibly some of Noah Presgrove family members made a reference to that mention too. Then we heard about Fallon, beginning with an F. Then we heard of Nevaeh. Different people all over the place. And at least to our knowledge in recent time, it's Nevaeh that was the girlfriend to Noah Presgrove at the time. But Noah's girlfriend wasn't at the party. However, the autopsy report, or part of the report, tells a different story. So I'll share that with you shortly. Try and understand what they actually mean and question where it came from in the first place, and question why was it not adjusted afterwards, after so much time passing by. If the officials can't even do that, then what hope is there? That could sound a little harsh, but we just need to dig in today, because if one thing is wrong, as we've seen with partygoers and their times, time frames, timelines, it can have a negative knock-on effect, a chain reaction to other stuff. So just make sure to stick around today for the full context, for that full analysis and my conclusion. And be sure to stick around till the very end of the video, because there are a few surprises you don't want to miss. And we're also going to put it into perspective. While she might get the third group elsewhere, how focused are they on the Noah Presgrove case? Because in recent time, from what's been going about, there's been obsessions once again towards me. Is it necessary? No. Because if you're here for the case and you're focused on the case and you find that more important, and even if you detest me, you would put one aside and you would move forwards with the case. So what was that? You want it harder? Oh, don't worry, it will be later. But for now, let's just focus and do my coverage first, my analysis. If you are interested in recent coverage on this case, you'll be able to find more videos, the full playlist, top right corner where the eye symbol is. Click there, up there. If you want to catch up on recent coverage, if you want to support the channel, for example, more so down below in the comment section, you find some links there as well. I'll probably provide the link as well to my video last night or the night before, so you can catch up on that too. And of course, if you're here during the live premiere, welcome. Share your live reactions in the chat box located on the right hand side of the screen. If you are watching after, catch up, finish watching the video, be sure to drop your thoughts, comments down below under the video to let me know what you think of the situation. Any questions you may have, should be able to follow them up at some point and respond back. With that all being said, let's head on over to the autopsy report. So here we are. This is one of the pages from the ME report, and I'll just read it out in full just in case there's any other bits and bobs that need to be acknowledged. An autopsy was performed on the body of Noah Alexander Nichols at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner at Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, on September 5th, 2023 at 1300 hours. circumstances of death. The descendant was a 19-year-old white male who was found on the southbound side of a highway by a passing truck driver on September 4th, 2023, at approximately 5:53 in the morning. He was naked and was only wearing unmatching shoes, Hey Dude and Adidas. There was a pair of shorts found several feet from the descendant. The pair of shorts were white. It was reported to be his, but as we know, it was later reported to be Jack's, and Noah borrowed them. So at the time reported to be Noah's, but later that wasn't the case. So this autopsy report, you can argue and say it's a little outdated in a way. Additionally, there were 3 pieces of a white metal chain as well as part of a tooth present several feet from the descendant. Also, there was a clump of hair found within one of the lanes at the highway several feet from the descendant. Additionally, a clump of hair was observed on the right buttock without blood or tissue. The paved highway consisted of 2 lanes with shoulders on both sides and a speed limit of 65 miles per hour. The highway was poorly lit at night. There were no light sources down the highway. There were no vehicle parts or debris observed at the scene. Further investigation revealed, this is where it gets important, okay? The descendant, Noah Presgrove, was at a house party and drinking on September 3rd, 2023. Then he rode an ATV Ranger vehicle with several men that had a rollover incident. The descendant was alive following the incident and returned to the party, where he got into an argument with his girlfriend. The descendant left the party house and was not found until the morning of September 4th, 2023, on the side of the highway. So actually, there's more problems to this than what meets the eye. All of those events, what we read out, with the exception of when he was found, seems to have occurred September 3rd. That would mean Sunday night. And at least from what we've seen, heard, and like even Kane and Pressy as well, with the timestamps provided, and I know not everybody will agree with it, but I think there's been a bit of consistency where most people have gone along with it, that the events, a handful of them, occurred Monday morning onwards. But the side-by-side rollover likely occurred at some point early hours of Monday morning, that Caden Pressy provided from his point of view of footage or a photo of what he was shown by another person, I'm guessing a party goer, at a later point in time, the timestamp at 2:40, just after the rollover, and Noah on the floor. So that's something to take into mind. And then whatever happens then on there will be on the same day, which be the Monday. Doesn't seem to mention about the shower situation, doesn't quite make it clear about the bedroom debacle. It's rather disappointing, this. Let's just head on over to the maps and I'll continue my analysis. To put things into perspective visually, if you are a first-time viewer learning about this case and you're advised that, well, what's said within the community and talks amongst people, it's just hearsay, it's not worth listening to, just look at the autopsy report and the truth will set you straight, and that's all you need. Well, let's do a demonstration of that right now, because it just seems to ignore and brush over all the other important things, what we've seen with time, including some timestamps too. So, Noah Presgrove, Sunday at the party house right here. Not much acknowledgement of whether he was there the day before, Saturday or so. And from what we've heard of, obviously, with time and through video footage, Noah Presgrove attended the party from Saturday till Monday. And some were there from Friday for the full 4 days, but that would have been more so the party house and the people that lived there, maybe with Jack coming on down earlier. It would be nice to hear more about Friday, because it's never acknowledged by really any of the party goers to any extent. And I know I do keep asking questions, but was there anything of value on the Friday? Any party footage? Because at least to my knowledge, we've not seen a single video or clip photo of the party on the Friday, the beginning, setting it up. And when I say setting it up, I don't mean that in a suspicious way. I just mean planning, maybe getting drinks, any decorations, any moving about of furniture and whatnot. So it welcomes people to come on down. But we'll have to let that sit and rest for now. September 3rd. No true time given in the autopsy report, but Noah was riding a side-by-side. It rolled over. Other men were in it. And you know why that's quite interesting? To call them men, not children, not teenagers, but men, as in adults. And if that's all above board and confirmed, then that basically means that everybody on that side-by-side rollover was of the age of 18 and above. It can whittle it down as to who was on it and who wasn't. And of course, when you look at what Jack has said kind of links to this about 5 to 6 people being upon it. As for the mention of men, I don't know if Jack used that word, but Robin Smith indirectly was making reference to the Texas boys, 5 of them, and they were ruled out, cleared from the case. And if that's true, okay, good. But whilst that doesn't directly link to the side-by-side rollover, I just base it off coincidence. Jack mentions 5 people on the side-by-side, or 5 to 6, including Noah. Robin mentions 5, the magic number 5. You rule out the other party goers for either being asleep, resting, Caden, Brylan, Mikey, Isaac. The girls probably staying away from the side-by-side as well. Texas boys, the ones left for possibilities. Jack supposedly asleep. So it's likely the Texas boys that were with Noah during the side-by-side rollover. All guys, no girls, no females. So it's kind of consistent with the autopsy report, ME, which is a positive. But of course, to call them men would mean they're basically adults. And considering we've had that obsession in the community about people saying, were there any adults at the party? Were they or not? Oh, why are we doing this? If you're over the age of 18 onwards, you are an adult, a young adult. I think what the community was asking in the past was there any parents, any guardians of a much older age? But, when you say adult, that can mean 18, it can mean 30, it can mean 50, 60, 90, 100, any age from there in that range. So people need to be more specific with their wording because it does fall through. But the order of what we've seen from that autopsy, which is a bit lackluster, but granted it was at the time early on, but it wasn't updated. And would it normally be updated? I mean, when it's been released to the public, they might make adjustments in the background again, but that's not been released public to my knowledge. So you got Noah in a side-by-side rollover, September 3rd, Sunday. After the rollover, Noah casually returns back to the party house like nothing has happened, and then has an argument with his girlfriend. And then after the argument, he leaves the house, walks away. And then that's pretty much it. And then comes the 4th, Monday, when he's found dead, which would be the highway roughly there. Do you see how sparse and empty that is? What I've just read out there, let's acknowledge the other events which supposedly went down, which haven't been acknowledged the same way. You see all those red markers? That's what I've added together with time. And I believe that these red markers, most of them are backed up with hard evidence. And if you want to see it for yourself, because I did do a visual representation with the photos attached in a standalone video, it will be on my channel. So these are most of the details which appear to be missed out of the paragraph from that autopsy report. Very disappointing, because if there is evidence to support it, shame it wasn't added in. Granted, maybe you couldn't add it all in the moment, short term. But then again, if you think about it, when was the autopsy report released, all the papers and documents? Was it around March or so? Or May 2024? Enough months passing by since 2023 of September. Along the way, they could have added in some more details. They could have made some adjustments. It can't be that impossible, yet they didn't. Or they didn't make a second copy of adjustments made, and that is disappointing. So just so these don't get forgotten about, just to help people with their memories. 10:50 p.m. Sunday, Caden Pressey records Friends and Georgia. Now, there was some other things that happened before that, but whether they were recorded or not, I didn't think was as relevant because it's earlier. And furthermore, there would have been some additional stuff which just didn't have photos or videos attached. So I just tried, doing what I had. So, 10:50 p.m. Sunday, Caden Pressey records Friends in Georgia, passes it on to Alicia at the time via a text, Facebook Messenger, to confirm Georgia is here, safe and okay. We seen the footage of it, the photo, the video, screenshot of that text conversation between Alicia and Caden. 10:52 a.m. Noah Presgrave dancing in the kitchen. We've seen the footage of it. We've not seen the timestamp attached with the video, but it was Brooke Bounds Carter that did make the reference of. That's the timestamp of when it happened, 10:52 a.m. Rather interesting. Well, at 10:50, Noah is seen in the video footage, which is recorded by Caden, and Noah is wearing black shorts. Noah Presgrave also appears to have no writing on his body. And then 2 minutes later, where Noah is in the kitchen. 2 minutes before that, in Caden's recording, Noah was near to the kitchen. So it kind of ties in line, the possibilities there. And Jasmine was near or in the kitchen as well. So by 10:52, when Noah's dancing, Jasmine Millan is beside him. So it all links up there. It does make sense. No writing on the body at that point. 12:48 a.m. 0048, in other ways of wording it, Monday morning, Caden Pressey takes a picture. Georgia outside, sick, to throwing up from drinking alcohol, underage as well. That's where it starts sparking the concern with Alicia, wondering, Caden, you need to stick by Georgia from now on. Don't let anyone take photos. 1:05 in the morning, Caden Pressey records Brylan Sweat slapping Noah Presgrove. We've seen that footage ourselves. We've seen the outline of the timestamp as well, which is confirmed. Noah Presgrove appears to not have any writing on most of his body, though we can't see what's on the front, the torso, stomach area. That's not in sight. Though Noah does appear to have a signature or a bit of writing on the top, towards the top of his left shoulder, which should be acknowledged. But besides that, not too much going on. 1:42 in the morning, Caden Pressey is away from Georgia. Alicia is worried. And then I think it's at 1:51 in the morning from the call logs of what we've seen by Alicia calling Melissa, Georgia's mum, about we need to head on down there, likely, to pick Georgia up because Caden's not looking after her. There we go. 1:50 in the morning, Noah Presgrove seen with writing on his body, stomach area, with Jack Newton, who is awake, in the bathroom taking a selfie. 2:42 a.m, backed up and confirmed by call logs from Alicia's point of view. It's what we've seen in recent time. Making a call to Caden Pressey about either Georgia making it back home or being on the way back home. And with that time, 2:42, much earlier on, doesn't quite link in with the whole conspiracy of Alicia or Melissa or the girls knocking Noah over. If Noah hadn't left at that time, he left later. Yeah, you just wouldn't connect the times. 3:41 a.m. Jasmine Millan, Snapchat post, Noah Presgrove is missing. Not taken too seriously at the time. Backed up by Caden Pressey individually that said it's normal for Noah to wander off for about 30 minutes. Supposedly the time of 3:30 is when Noah had walked away, which the autopsy report does not acknowledge. Though granted, we've not seen the hard evidence of that timestamp, hence why I've not included it in this project. I've only mostly included timestamps which can be linked and attached with photos, which may also have the overlay of the timestamp as well. This is why something like this is very important. I might need to rename this particular project to more factual based, or to some extent. 4:30 in the morning, Carter Combs and Logan Jernigan snap. And that's supposedly once they just come back from the search looking for Noah and then decide to take a photo shortly afterwards, around that time. And then, 5:27 a.m, Logan Jernigan, Jasmine Millan and Mikey Lair all awake and happy in a bed, taking like a selfie. And then, 5:53 in the morning, official call to police, at least how it's been acknowledged. A call or two was made before that, at the earliest 5:43, but it doesn't get acknowledged the same way, which is weird. 5:53 being Tyler Hardy, call to police dispatch. And it's also the time of when Jack Newton was texting his father. And I don't know why it's got a ... Maybe it's because I couldn't fit it all on or so. And that was about rearranging where they were to meet amongst that fishing trip, which was meet at the boat lake ramp instead. I'll be down there. And yes, there are timestamps in between, which we've heard of too, but they're not backed up with photos or videos, and that's why I didn't include them. Okay? But you can see there's a fair bit of detail there which just hasn't been acknowledged within the autopsy report. And yet someone like me, who's not even a professional, has been able to piece this together. Now, I'm sure some experts out there, with what I've just said, they're going to be having a stroke and getting triggered, but it is what it is. What I'm highlighting is the importance that, yes, you can follow official documents, but the order that they occur in may not be quite true. And if there's times missing out, but they can be backed up with evidence, it's unfortunate it isn't attached. And some details which are just flat out incorrect. And where would we start with the flat out incorrect details? Well, let's just put it across as an argument first of all, in that what's been said and the general consensus is from the side-by-side rollover onwards, it likely occurred Monday morning. Some on and off have suggested Sunday evening, but ever since it's been mainly agreed upon it was Monday morning. Because you got to think of the timing of other events that follow after that too. So yeah, okay, there was a rollover. No big deal, not the end of the world. Round the back, which was suggested or mentioned more so by Jack, who did not see it but was told about where it took place, the pasture round the backyard. Now, as there's not much there, when you look at the Bing map footage of 2021 or 2022, there was a pool and decking outside, so more obstacles along the way to try and swerve about. 5 to 6 men on the side-by-side or in the side-by-side. If the weight wasn't equally distributed, could have been unbalanced, could have led to momentum shift, and it's flipping over, or more so rolling over. Noah may or may not have been slightly injured, depending on who you listen to. Caden says, well, Noah had a bloodied nose. Stevie Howard, I think, or another person of interest, well, not person of interest, but a memorable name, mentions had a busted lip instead. And Carter just says Noah wasn't injured at all. And who else was there? Stephanie Millan seems to highlight that the side-by-side may never have happened, or there was just no injuries. We might go back over those Snapchat texts sometime because they kind of been neglected. It's just a little bit odd. Okay, so what would Noah do after the rollover? Make it back to the house, get inside, make a big deal or noise about it from how would one get in? Just a quick question, okay? You got the entranceway near where that car is, in the front porch. If the side-by-side rollover happened round the back, how many doors does it have? A back door, the party house? Does anyone know? If there's a back door to the party house, did Noah enter it that way to get back in? Who knows? Just as a little possibility to avoid certain partygoers that didn't see things. But that aside, at least from what we've heard of, is the moment after the rollover, Noah was going to the bathroom and being escorted by Jasmine Millan and Carter Combs, and Carter has backed it up herself in a little statement and whatnot. about what happened, helping Noah, making sure he didn't fall or slip or hurt himself, keeping him up, and that was mainly it. And Noah washed himself, and then one of Noah's best buddies came jumping on in, and then we were laughing, having fun, and so on. So yeah, there's that, but that's just not been acknowledged in the autopsy, has it? So after the shower, next event which came up, the little suggestions in the background about teabagging and then being fed by Carter Combs, ramen noodles and yogurt, and then coming down to winding down to sleep, but Noah having other plans in wanting to sleep in one of the girls' beds, either Avery or Logan. Didn't work out, rejected by one, if not both. And then Noah thought, you know what, I'm going to cool off, leave the house. Autopsy doesn't mention those details or in that order. So that's what's unfortunate. And the days that occurred on, as if these events, all leading up to even when Noah had left, all happened Sunday. Oh my God. Because like when you add in with Caden Pressey's timeline of 2:42, when waking up in the morning when Alicia has called about the news of Georgia on the way back home, and with Caden being woken up, he's looking about his surroundings. He notices Noah, Jack and Jasmine at a beer pong table. Kind of interesting. Caden also said, though, that at 2:40, the timestamp of when the side-by-side rollover happened. So within the space of 2 minutes, Noah ended up from outside, bloodied, to inside, like nothing ever happened, with Jack and Jasmine. And then what? When the shower, because there seems like there's a lack of urgency. Based off that, when you add in Caden's timeline, it's a little bit weird, is it not? So there's that. I know the elephant in the room, or the biggest problem, is the whole argument with Noah's girlfriend, because Noah's girlfriend was never at the party, were they? But I think it might be interpreted as a different person, but done incorrectly, and it's still unfortunate how it's been worded. So I'll just go down here for a second, just so you get a different visual look of the area. Masked by the trees over there, vegetation. Slowly being revealed, the party house. That'll do. Just whilst I narrate. Looks quiet over that way. See, Noah Presgrove had a girlfriend at the time, and they were supposedly called Nevaeh. And I think previously had another girlfriend called Fallon. Hopefully I've got the order correct, but with time in the community, it has switched and changed the order. It doesn't help, but that's just the way it's gone. But that aside, I think it was worded as well in the discussion that when it came to Sunday morning after breakfast in Warwick, when Noah made it back to his place of living, because he was distancing himself, because he had other stuff to do maybe, he was checking in on his girlfriend as well, I think. That's how it was worded at some point in the discussions. And then later on Sunday, going into the afternoon, being picked up supposedly by Gage Jessen, Mikey Lair being picked up too, and then heading down back. And for Mikey, the first time, to the party house. So the girlfriend never went to the party with Noah. Not Saturday, not Sunday, not Monday. So why would the autopsy report state that Noah returned to the party house after the rollover from outside and then had an argument with his girlfriend if his girlfriend wasn't there? That is a problem. But in the early days, it was worded on and off that Noah did have a girlfriend, and it was actually Avery Combs, the party house. And maybe they had a thing in the past. And maybe it's the past that has been used when describing this situation. Did Noah at least have some kind of argument or conflict with Avery at some point? Yeah, supposedly. And it's been mentioned in the back by Justin Roy and some others that Noah called Avery a fat beep, I guess because of not being able to sleep in her bed at the time when he wanted, the bedroom debacle, what I call it. That's probably what the autopsy means by the argument between Noah and his girlfriend, more so former girlfriend or close friend. It's just poor wording terminology, correct? Because if someone saw it for the very first time and heard the term girlfriend, they'll think, oh, Noah's in a relationship with Avery at that party. Does it change the dynamics, though, in any way? Maybe not. Still possible girl trouble. Without a greater intensity, if you're with someone and if you've got someone like Noah drinking, drunk, flirting with other girls at the party, Avery isn't going to feel too good about it. And based off that reasoning, that's probably what led in the past within the community of theories and ideas coming about with how Avery is being treated poorly at the party, embarrassed at her own birthday by Noah calling her out and insulting her, that Avery was annoyed, frustrated, and wanted revenge on Noah, and it went too far and led to his death. That's a theory which has come up in the past. And when you look at the autopsy report, it could justify it to some extent as for the possible motive or backstory. But when we hear that Noah had a girlfriend called Nevaeh, who wasn't even at the party, and that Jack Newton was flirting with Noah's girlfriend Nevaeh at the time, somehow, how did Noah find out about it? And at what time, what point did Jack flirt with Noah's girlfriend? At the party, digitally, or elsewhere? And, well, yes, you can blame Jack or question Jack. What about Nevaeh? Was Nevaeh happy with flirting with Jack as well? Well, you could say, well, it doesn't matter now. It's still a detail along the way. Is it not? It's worth acknowledging. So really, the autopsy should have changed it to Noah had an argument with the birthday host, the party host, the birthday girl, Avery, due to sleeping arrangements not quite going to plan. Avery did say one of the reasons to why she didn't want Noah in her bed is because she didn't want to feel used or like a third wheel when Noah supposedly was close to Logan at the time. And from what we've heard of, is that one of the reasons why Noah did sleep on the floor Saturday night was because either passing out, being too drunk to get to somewhere to sleep, or more so because with Logan and they wanted to sleep next to each other, meaning on the floor. So there is that. Obviously doesn't get acknowledged in the autopsy. In terms of then Noah leaving, well, yeah, in terms of the bedroom debacle, after the bedroom thing, that's when Noah supposedly walked away, and that's described as a normal thing because during tension conflict, he distances himself so he doesn't bring the mood down. Quite a selfless act, all understandable there. But that's to do with Monday. The autopsy says Sunday. There's a big difference between, Sunday and Monday. It's different days in timing as well. And if you look at it for the very first time, you think, oh, all this happened on Sunday. And then later you find, oh, no, it happened on Monday. And then you get confused and then it's all over the place. Maybe in the past, certain details were described as happening on Sunday and then may have been debunked after or adjusted, but autopsy never seemed to adjust it publicly. So I thought I'd just do that, just spread a little bit of awareness for those that may come across it for the very first time and get a little confused. I personally think that when they're referring to the girlfriend, they're also referring to Noah and Avery, and based off past relationships or connections, thought or assumed that they were still together, but that's not the case. But in terms of the theme, because I like to add on with other possibilities or scenarios, if Noah Presgrove and his actual girlfriend Nevaeh attended the party together over the days, would the outcome have been any different whatsoever? Or possibly, depending what Noah was doing, if Nevaeh followed, what happened to Noah, could that have happened to Noah's girlfriend too, depending on the circumstances? Quite dark, but just to put it out there. If there is girl trouble, If it is motivated by that and a form of revenge or any grudges being followed up on, and someone or some people taking it out on Noah because of that, would Noah have been more grounded, kept to himself more if his girlfriend was present at the party? If at any point Noah was simply talking with other girls and other guys out there, or Jack got jealous about that and wasn't too pleased? If Noah's girlfriend was there, would Noah have been less flirty? Just these different scenarios, because, if you're with someone, your eyes should be on them and no one else. But then, obviously, other people have different standards, and maybe in different countries or areas, you might fiddle around more. But as I said, some people have better standards than others. But that aside, you're at a party, pissed, not quite thinking clearly, talking, being loose, going with the flow. One thing can lead to another. I guess those rumours of dodgy action taking place in bedrooms and no walking in on it, that's gone quiet since, hasn't it? Never really saw it backed up with hard evidence. But I thought I'd just throw that out there. You can let me know your thoughts in the chat, what you think up to now about any other alternatives. But, whilst Noah... if Noah's girlfriend was there in a different scenario, Nevaeh, and then Noah found out about Jack flirting with Noah's girlfriend Nevaeh, what would Nevaeh have said? What would have gone on at that party? Would it have been further arguments? Would it have led to any additional problems? I wonder. Oh my God, how could you do that? Right, Nevaeh, you're coming home with me Sunday morning after breakfast, and we're going to talk this out, and we're not returning back to that party till it's resolved. That could have been how one of the conversations could have gone if it had happened. But we're mainly focusing on Sunday and more so Monday. As for Monday, would Nevaeh have followed Noah? If Noah had when Noah had walked away, would Nevaeh have followed Noah? Would Nevaeh have been a witness if she had been there? It all comes down to that. It's only because, to some extent, if you're around someone, you care, you love somebody, and there might be more of a psychological response to follow them around when you're together. If you're hanging out somewhere or you're at a party, you might look out for one another, be close to one another, just naturally. And in some circumstances, situations, you might be looking over their shoulder or looking out for them a little bit too much, depending on how controlling it is. If we're talking about unnatural situations, it seemed supposedly healthy between Noah and Nevaeh, but you can also put the argument across that if Noah was flirting with anyone at the party, and just simply let me just get back onto this. From what Robin Smith and Ashley Chadwick said, that Noah Presgrove was kissing and doing more than kissing, possibly sexual stuff with Logan Jernigan. And whilst JJ Bumpaz wasn't in a relationship with Logan at the time, which other people were forcing as a false claim, don't know why people did that, a bit desperate. Whilst there wasn't a motive there of, you're cheating with that person, how dare you? You can put the argument across, and I know some people won't like it because it's, you're attacking the victim. It's not attacking the victim, it's just making a valid observation. If Noah is in a relationship at the time, has a girlfriend who is not attending the party, does that give the right for Noah to then sleep or kiss Logan Jernigan? Doesn't seem quite right, doesn't seem fair on the actual girlfriend of Noah. Did they ever find out? Who knows? Maybe they followed certain discussions they might have done. And whilst that may not matter now, because of Noah being the victim, yes, but still, it supposedly happened. And it's interesting that the likes of Robin Smith and Ashley Chadwick acknowledged it, Noah doing more than kissing with Logan. Tying it in with the autopsy of the supposed girlfriend being Avery and not Nevaeh, if Avery found out or already knew about the situation with Logan and Noah, could lose their shit. And that could escalate further and be a possible motive behind that. Look, these are just different possibilities and scenarios. I know some people may think it's pointless because it just didn't happen, but I'm just putting it out there and making it clear what it is so you know how to deal with it. And it's just worth discussing, just in case it could have led to an alternative outcome. Any alternative themes or motives? Let me know your thoughts below. And I know I keep saying it, and I keep forgetting. I'll have to do a poll here and there for sure, maybe in the live chat if I remember, or do freestyle polls, see what else I can find. So I think that will do for now in regard to that. It just goes to show that when people do say, oh, go to the autopsy, you'll learn everything there, that's where all the facts are, you don't need to listen to anything else. Granted, maybe the actual autopsy done on Noah's body, damages, injuries sustained, internal, external, all the fancy words, you stick by that, you trust it as the truth. But as for additional details, you could say it only tells half of a story, part of a story, not quite in the exact order. Kind of like mentioning about the shorts. Were they white? Were they not? Make it a little bit clearer. But more so how it mentioned they were reported to be Noah's. But what we heard later, they weren't. They were actually Jack's. In terms of the autopsy being done, the report, the details, not the body, but just the backstory like what we've just seen today. And whilst it's not all exactly true or correctly done or written out, where did the information come from? Was it partygoers at the time that were reiterating stories and being inconsistent and telling the medical examiner or police and then it being passed on eventually, but it being a bit of a mess? And if so, bloody hell, that's so early on and so fresh when maybe memory is much clearer. But then again, there might be some kind of correlation where as soon as it's happened, your memory may not always be sharp because of everything that's going on. You're overwhelmed. You need time for it to sink in so then you can reflect. Give or take a few days, memory better, improving. And then eventually there'll be a dip and it will just keep going downwards and downwards as time goes on, possibly. And if there's any trauma type responses, the self-defense mechanisms kicking in with the brain, the recollections do change. And multiply that by all the different party goers, it can be a bit all over the place. But yeah, in just terms of how the details came about and how they've been like passed on and shared around and then being documented as official, I just don't think it's good enough. And whilst, yeah, this could have been critiqued in the past from what we've learned since, does it really matter? Well, it does, because if you guide people over that way as the source of the truth and everything, they're going to be misinformed. And it's not been adjusted since, at least on the public level. Are there any other details in the autopsy you could then put the argument across and say, is it all true? Is it only telling part of a story? Could be things missing? I mean, of course, depending Caden Press's timeline, and if that highway footage of tampering does exist or not, then you could put the argument across and say, yeah, Noah's wearing black shorts here, but he wasn't later because he was naked. What different people see at different times in their own individual experiences is true to themselves, absolutely, but you compare, contrast, there is a big contrast because something in between has changed. So maybe that can apply in other areas as well. Hopefully people understand this video. I didn't want to go too off elsewhere or push too hard elsewhere whilst we're awaiting the current stuff pending, which is to do with Caden's phone data and all of that. Time will tell there, and we'll see what happens. I don't know how long it will take. In the meantime, we just do other little discussions. What I do want to highlight, though, is a measuring tool. Whilst, yes, I've been critiqued for how I go about things in the case and, oh, it's impacting the case or it's not serious enough. Are other people in a position to be talking? Really? So it tells me not quite. If we look at some screenshots which have come about from a different page on Facebook, all about Noah Presgrove solving the case, working it out, being focused, being dedicated, justice for Noah, wanting the truth and it to be solved. Well, I've got screenshots which kind of say they're obsessed about other things and not the case. And I'll show you them in just a second. In terms of the screenshots, it's kind of in correlation to a video that I did a few days ago, in which the video itself was actually about the case, and how I started the video off was about the case. All the important stuff is covered first at the start of my video, and then towards the end, if there is time, I do something else, something different on the sideline. I always give a disclaimer. No one's forced to watch that part of the video. It's as simple as. But obviously people still throw the toys out the pram. Others get obsessed. Some even get turned on. What's going on? Well, let me show you the screenshots right now of what's really happening. What you're looking at on screen is from the Noah Presgrove puzzle page on Facebook, which is supposedly a public page, so really anyone can join, and we do see examples of people that are upon it. There is the comment thread down below, which we'll continue on with, but let's just see what's really going on here. Zooming in. The admin, Trav Davidson, also known as Travesty, and just take in mind, this is about Noah Presgrove, you know, the case at hand, what's really important. And there is a post dedicated here, a poll, in which Trav says, let's do a vote. How many of y'all think that Warlight Ref is actually a good podcaster, YouTuber, and that he has done more good for Noah's case than bad? Question. Does it give percentages? Not quite to the same extent as what Justin Roy does, where he says 95% of the human race agrees that it's murder. So at least at that time when the screenshot was taken, more people believe that yes, Warlight Ref is amazing. And an example of that is, based off the profile pictures there on the right, it doesn't show everyone that's voted, but Rebecca Gagliari thinks that Warlight Ref is amazing. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to the other individual in between with that profile picture, don't know who they are. And even Donna Bond as well, the Frog Toad Tamer, the Waffle House Wafflenator, Twattinator, believes that Warlight Ref is amazing. Big shout out to Donna Kebab, I'm off my Bond bail. Yeah, big shout out. The second option there, a few people have voted. I don't know who they are, but they appear to have some wonky glasses. And I'm not talking about Michelle, I'm talking about somebody else this time. The second option is no. Warlight Ref is a joke, and I can't even stand to watch him due to his bipolar outburst, where he attacks and humiliates his viewers. That's not the case. I mean, I will defend myself when necessary, and I will cut through darkness with a level of lightheartedness. And there are actual viewers on my channel who are adults, who actually have a functioning brain and a good sense of humour. And that's why they stay about. You know, just a bit of lightness to cut through the dark, and it helps. Last but not least, this voting option was supposedly added by Michael Faze Kaz. Michael in a daze. Kaz. I'm too worried to vote because Warlight Ref's ego is so fragile. I mean, I'm not surprised someone like Michael Faze Kaz would select this voting option, thinking that Warlight Ref has a fragile ego. I mean, I'm surprised Michael Faze Kaz doesn't have a fragile email because he's got over 300,000 emails backed up there. What are they full of exactly? Is it photos? Is it videos? Is it communication with wildlife? I don't know. Is it cats? Is it dogs, camels? Or, I don't know, some kind of triangulation going on elsewhere? I mean, I know some people have suggested that there is a threesome going on. I don't know. It's dodgy times, right? But, you know, Michael Faze Kaz was the one in the live chat in recent time and said along the lines of, Warlight Ref, you're too sensitive. See, the reality is in life and in general, you can either be criticised for being too sensitive, and then if you toughen up, harden up, then you're criticised for being a cold-hearted twat, almost like a psychopath. I personally can't win in those situations because I will always get called out one way or the other. Lose-lose situation. But then if I come across one individual, that's all it takes, and that's what's happened, where there's a level of balance and understanding within, that's all fine. That's all that's needed. But honestly, if I was so sensitive, do you honestly think that I would still be here covering cases, getting dragged in and attacked with drama, being in serious situations, dealing with threats, violence, other people with their sexual deviant activity and mindsets, harassment, cyberbullying, slanderous nature, and beyond? That most people wouldn't want to deal with that or continue because it's that bad? But there's been some audience members that have reached out to me and said, I didn't know it was going to be this rough and brutal in the community. I never want to experience this again. After this case, I'm done. That's all understandable, right? You shouldn't have to go through it all. You shouldn't have to experience all that darkness and attacks, whether you're a creator or viewer. And yet I've been dealing with this shit from 2020 onwards. For like 5 years of consistently covering stuff and being on the receiving end of unnecessary behaviour by others and questionable actions. That honestly, Michael Faze, Kaz, if I was so fragile in different ways on top of what you said previously, you'd think I would have just quit and walked away. Can't handle it. Oh, it's too much. I put myself out there. What happens, happens. Give and take. I defend myself when necessary. It's not that difficult. If it ever gets that bad, I simply take a step back. Yet I haven't at this moment in time. So I wouldn't say one is fragile, rather the opposite. But obviously, in regard to Michael's ignorant comment about being too sensitive, the reality is it's better to be more sensitive than completely cold. That being sensitive equals being more open-minded, and more understanding, and all different types of positives that can come from it. Yes, it can make an individual more vulnerable, but being vulnerable itself is not a weakness, more of a strength, being able to show that side in some way, to some capacity. It's the humans that take advantage of vulnerable people, in which they see them as weak, more cowardly behaviour, more so. And if you're not going to directly deal with them one-on-one, face-to-face, when they're at their best or when their defence is up, you do it when it's down, where their guard is down. Cowardly, pathetic behaviour. And I'm talking in general there. You know, Michael Faze, Kaz, may have a black belt in, jiu-jitsu or some kind of mixed martial arts, but does he have a black belt in endless emails? Does he have a black belt in competence? Does he have a black belt in petty, whiny behaviour? A black belt in childish-like responses, in which he demonstrates the form of self-fulfilling prophecy when people previously have accused him of being a hacker, and then he ends up leaving comments in the chat which comes across of that nature. And Michael Faze, Kaz, is about justice and truth and focus on the Noah Presgrove case, whilst participating in a chat like this, a poll, adding on a voting option to do with Warlike Wrath. More focusing on Warlike Wrath. Michael Faze, Kaz, to some extent, obsessing about Warlike Wrath. Travesty, obsessing about Warlike Wrath in a somewhat negative way, possibly. And some of the people that vote too. I thought we were here for the Noah Presgrove case, and instead, some of these people are more focused on other areas, more so me. And I say certain people because there will be others that are a part of this Facebook group who aren't attacking me. They're just a part of the group to learn and research and, I don't know, do some like background work as well if we've got any spies or informants and whatnot. But, you know, let's just acknowledge one thing right now, everyone. Everybody in the chat. Bingo! We're almost at a full house because yet another term, another label has been added onto myself. Now I'm supposedly bipolar. Ooh, what's going to come next? I've got multiple personality disorder just because I'm that damn good with doing different accents. Oh, yes. Oui, that is obviously true. You know, I've not been doing the France accent for a long time. You know, I was walking through the street and I could not find where the toilet was. I walked into a shop. I didn't know what they were selling. Mademoiselle, how much is the price of that baguette? It's rather long. No, it's a little soggy for me. Je suis fatigué. No. I will go somewhere else. Down the road, there was some restaurant. I walk on in and there was a waiter. He walked up to me and asked, would you like some water? Yes. Oui. I would want some water right now. My throat is rather dry. You want to understand why my French voice is a little rough, a little dry. You know, it should be magnifique. Yes? We've come across some viewers in recent time, or also in the past, and the way they talk, the way they look down, ignorant behavior.
My throat is very dry from eating spicy food. And what type of spicy food is that? Well, you know what? It is some kind of Indian special recipe. Mister, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Travis T. Davison, what are you doing with that fucking bun? Do you understand who like what face? You're using bipolar? Or the Indian uncles are very disappointed in you. They're going to get their black whip and whip you off the head, you naughty little bastard. You may be in a hurry, but you will not be deserving any curries anytime soon. You are a major disappointment on the Indian population. There's a lot of people on YouTube that will look up to this and they will be not very happy. Oh no. Thank you. Have a good day. And speaking of which, there are a few other people. And who are them? Well, you know, when it gets very hot, so the voice is a little soft. Soft is a nice cotton towel jar. But I've understood that there are viewers watching in the background. And there's many statistics that show that people from Germany like watching the videos, but maybe it's a little disappointed in the voice. Yeah. But you know, of course, I try my best to do what I can. And you just need to do a bit more practicing to this German accent, yeah. Starting the fucking German accent, that's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very sorry. Long time no see. And speaking of which, there are a few other people that are crossover connections, yeah. Because what did sometimes we've heard what the Vanessa Salazar is a cross-Colombian Italian model. Mamma mia, what a load of bollocks. Would you like some bolognese with that? Or Rebecca Gagliari. Would you like to take a seat? Would you like a pizza? Or would you like lasagna? 1, 2 sheets? 2 sheets, 3 sheets more? How many more do you want? Mamma mia, we got all kinds of wildy stuff going on. My throat is not helping very much as I'm trying to do the accent. But you know, there's one time when the people say that my accent is not very good. I'm very disappointed. It makes me very sad. I get the dough, slap them across the face. Because you know what? I'm here. I'm back. I'm a badass bitch baddie. Not quite with the same fatty as Beauty Gurumo by nature. But you know what? Oh my god. Stop. My goodness, Sharon, those nails are glowing. I'm getting really jelly right now because my nails are a little pale. Yeah. And you know, when I get a little bit pale, I get a little bit penny, and I turn into white Karen. Yes, Joyce Burgow. I heard you've been doing your cornhole competitions, and the way you've been chucking them into those holes, you've been doing a little bit violently. You've been breaking those sound barriers, which is a great thing to know, but you're disturbing the local wildlife. And, you know, those toads and frogs across the road and street are getting a little bit jealous and a little bit petty. I think you need to take a step back, Joyce Burgow, and reflect upon your decisions. Or we'll have to call the local wildlife refuge in and sort that out. Oh, my God. Put that aside. We need to stop with this petty-ass drama. Because whenever does drama actually help? You know, maybe things get a little bit tense, just like my body and muscles. My mind, my temple is pulsating, and there's nothing that I can do about it. But, you know, sometimes if we go and get some coffee, yeah, that can really help. Oh my god, no way. I just want some sparkly glitter, pastel colors upon my pretty face. My cheeks are rosy as a red rose. I'm like a garden of roses. You want to lay your head on the bed? Feel free to do so, because that's what I really want to do. Oh my god. I'm really melting right now. I don't know if you could understand. Beauty Gurumo, where are you? I don't know, but I'm sure a very busy individual, of course. And you know, when I do this voice, sometimes it transitions into a different accent. Join me today, Top 5. My name is Chills. Recently, we've been dealing with an unusual individual called a travesty. We don't know what type of IQ the individual has, but in recent times, CCTV footage captured when he tried attending some IQ test, and even the IQ decided to walk away. But you know what? Oh, is this my normal voice? Sorry, I must be channeling the inner spirits, wherever that's coming from. But where's Michaela? Michaela, where you at? I see you, girl, with that profile picture. With the red tape masked across your face. Don't worry, it's alright. Don't need to talk, speak in silence. I'm gonna rip that tape right off, and you talk when you need to. I've been walking down the desert for a long time. Got a little illness left, right, and center, but it's fine, don't worry.
It's been some time looking for Lenny. Lenny, where are you, boy? I don't know, he's playing hide and seek. Find a needle in a haystack, and as for Dutch, he's such an incompetent fuck. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And in the meantime, I'll go down to Tahiti. I'll look down where the crops are growing, see how the farmers are doing, see if they need a helping hand, 'cause I'm sure I can do a thing or two. I'm real handy. That's my middle name.
You know what, man? I'm not Bonnie the dinosaur. I love hide and seek. More so, Strawberry, I love you. Well, I'll tell you something, man. You come on down with the bamboo, whack me over the face, I'm gonna the goddamn banjo, I'm gonna strum you like I do with my guitar, mister. Howdy, darn boy. You think I'm taking a piss out of y'all? Hell no. There's been a man times that I've been looking at text all over the place, reading out the words, keep saying y'all. It's actually y'all. I don't care, boy. I've seen enough people doing it left, right, center, all over the place. I've been told by some experts right in round town, local, that I'm doing it just mighty fine, right damn God. Bless your cunt socks, mister. Don't you worry. It's all in control, y'all. And speaking of which, where the hell we going next? I'll tell you something. I don't know where Popsky is. I don't know where Sharon is. Sharon, what you doing staying at the sky? What do you think that's gonna do? Isn't it gonna do nothing? I'll tell you something. It appears that you got your red robe on. How dare you be wearing that? That's mine. That belongs to me. You know, you need to get out of my swamp, donkey. Oh, we're turning into Shrek. We better not turn into that. Too many green individuals present already. Got the frogs bouncing about. What the hell's going on there? Let me tell you something. You see the sky, you see the solar system. What does the sign say? It spells disaster for some people. I've got no clue what's going on, mate. I'll fucking tell you something. Get Foss rattling. Get the rodeo. Get the bracking bronco out. Fucking hell, mate. I'll tell you something, mate. What we should do, I like to know. I'd like to do a fucking card reading, shove it up where the rear end shines, and see how that goes. Oh my God, you've got that feeling of deja vu. Where's Oliver Twist at? Oh, I'm in a bit of a twist. No wonder why my voice is so high-pitched, you big stiff plum. Oh, you. Who do you think you are, Sharon? Your hands trembling all over the place. You're going to spill hot tea on yourself. Oh, goodness gracious. The cleaning bill would be very high-pitched, very high price. But you know what, mate? We got fucking card readers. We got a crystal. We're going to shine it up real good. Oh, it's fucking television. What's going to happen next? We're going to do some basking on the sideline. There's a proper basker. Get a great size in. See how that goes. Get the kangaroos and bouncing up in all over the bloody place. Crikey, mate. Long time no see. But let me tell you something. We're going back to the Scottish accent because from time to time when I'm trying to talk, I do lose it at times. I don't know what I'm trying to do right now. But what the hell's going on here? Trying to say that Warlike Graf is bipolar. That the outburst humiliates individuals and viewers. Too worried to vote because his ego is fragile. How many fucking egos does he have? I think there's about 16 here. Let me tell you something top of the mind here. You know, in the past I was dealing with some naughty individuals. You know, I call them the potato pickers. Fucking whiny individuals. Goodness gracious me. I saw a few leprechauns as well because they're so fucking tiny. You know, the height of these individuals. I'm 6'2". I didn't know they could stack shit that high, but that appears to be the case. These other individuals, the way they keep talking about, the pictures keep changing as well. I'm throwing the toys out the pram. I'm really disappointed in them. But don't worry. I'm sure they can take a break or two, time out, get a chill pill. You need to calm down, mister. Maybe you need to go back to the class because the way you're behaving is really disappointing. I'm sure the teacher could come in. We got a private tutor somewhere. There's Dr. Warlike Graf. Top of mind to your Warlike Graf. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing okay. How's things going here? Well, you know, we're just growing some potatoes and carrots. Unfortunately, Becker and the other one, Joyce Bergow, really want a fruit salad, but we don't do that around here. We do vegetables. That's all we got. Vegetables I can go really well with. Yeah, wow, boy. Put in the barbecue, the music, wow, boy, man. You know I could do a Jamaican accent. Of course I can. What's that, the strawberry? Put the bacon on, man. What are your heads off my bacons? What the hell you doing? You go do, we try and do some kind of voodoo voice. Yeah, my boy. What it costs upon your soul. The way you're behaving, mister, I'm very disappointed in you. How could you do that to me? Yeah, man. I'll get the whip out. I get the black whip out and I whip you all over the place. I bring back all the ancestries in the name of Jesus Christ. You know, when I do this, I may have to contact some people in the background. I have many extensive contacts upon my phone. I may have lost my visa, but I have never lost my mind. I have never lost my marbles. They're perfectly in place. I heard that some people wobble about like a tic-tac. I don't know what a tic-tac-toe is. Maybe the people are putting too many pills into their mouth. I think you should be putting them elsewhere, man. Because it is not working very well for you. You see, I am the most stable individual here. I see there'll be many people upon the crowd. We do things differently. There'll be many individuals that will need the subtitles turned on. But beside that, it does not worry. I do my deep accent to be able to penetrate through your neural pathways. If I need to do a sermon, if I need to bring back a revolutionary individual, no, Idi Amin Udada, you come here with your vodka, you come here with your Scottish band, you tell us what is the way, where shall we go, who will take over, and where we control our troops. You want to go to the farmlands. You want to hire your hired hands. I don't think that is going to work. I think that is very disappointing. And you know what? I don't care. I'm just a happy man. And I want to continue on. Whether I got a visa or not, I am going to Mars. I am going to find a place. I'm going to start a new planet. I'm going to shake my hands with the aliens. And they're going to be so confused. But in that very long time, Lord, now see, I'm doing a cross-contamination of a hybrid of a fucking German accent and a Chinese voice. Oh, it must be the chop suey. Must have had something fucking put in the rice. Yes. Ho, isha ella, ho, kanina, HKBT. You look a man with a pork bun. If you do not have pork bun, you're not a whole man. But I'll tell you something, man. If you want a 99p Wikibasi from Taiwanese, I got that, sir. Don't wait long time no see. I love your long life. Me wants a green card as soon as possible. My bok choy is running out. My Hanoi drift is running slit. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I need to go back to my language school. And I need to learn how to be a proper bad boy. I'm no bad boy right now. I don't know where I am. But let me tell you something, mister. I can be so cocky when I want to. You want some sunglasses? I think you need some to block that sunlight out. Oh my god, look at that hair. So stylish. But I do it better 9 times out of 10 because somehow we're going into some kind of American Asian accent. Why is that? I don't know. It's very good anyway. Oh, Sharon, you're so funny. Oh, I'm laughing so hard. And my face is turning red like a strawberry right now. My nipples are fucking hard. Why is that? Because we're going over the fucking continent. But the temperature has changed so much. More global warming than Joyce Bergow filling those holes in with bean bags, which are contaminated with all kinds of toxic waste and much more within. But I'll tell you something. Oh, there was a time. Some people in the chat were thinking I was doing some Japanese accent. Oh no, that was something completely different. Master Miyagi, this is how you do a proper Japanese accent. I hope you understand. I see you, the stylish system is working into the dojo. The katana, the wakizashi, you need to conceal them because it major disrespects the way you put them out. Upon me, if you show your still you are a major threat upon me and I will have no defense. I will have no choice to defend myself. Oh, arigato. You come, you go, you arrive in peace. But if you misbehave, I will chop you to pieces. The way the samurai warrior, the way you handle your mighty sword, one upon the mighty top. You are the king of the kings. You want to challenge me to a duel. How long would that last? As long as I want it to. But, you know, if we're trying to do things differently, that's what I need. But the thing is, there are some people going about acting like some kind of spies, and I do not understand why that is happening. There's a lot of people out there that want to be something, but they're really not. A lot of individuals that the mindset is just not quite there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's been some kind of contamination going on in the background, some poisoning, but as if I've got anything to do with it. I got much more pressing matters at hand. See, there was a time that I was on Xbox. I was talking to some individuals, suka bleds. The way they were behaving is very cringe. One individual thought I was really from Russia. And then I had to spend 10 minutes trying to explain how the Russian system worked with schooling and education. It didn't quite work out. At one point he thought I was speaking Spanish. What the fuck is that? En español? Hola, me llamo, huele grave, ¿dónde está? Yeah, so it sounds like I can get one. And how do we end it off? Just with that? Just my normal voice? Is that how we end it? To demonstrate some more false claims made about me? I don't think so. Because when I try and do my Birmingham accent, not many people would understand what I'm trying to say. See, when I'm trying to talk, it sounds like I'm really dumbed down, or I don't really know. It sounds like such a shame. I remember there was a time in the live chat or the comment section, there was a person called Garai, and another person called Barroy. Barroy, Garai, long time no see, where have you been, lads? What have you been up to? Oh, that's such a shame. I hope you get it together. You've been trying the lawnmower in the backyard. Oh, that's really great. You can tell I'm really interested by what you're getting up to. But look, Mr. Look lad. Yeah, Sharon, you know who this is. You know what this accent's all about. Yeah, really high-class accent. I'm spitting all over the place, all over your face. You need to get some mask or face protection. Yeah, of course, Sharon, you can do what you like. You can do high-pitched voice, you can do a low-pitched voice, you can talk really fast, you can talk really slow, but I know at the end of the day, you know exactly what type of pace you want to be going at. Yeah, right, Sharon, don't even try to star with me. Face is going so red, blood pressure going through the roof, and that's not for that other reason, is because I'm absolutely devastated. Devastated that some clothing has been ripped. How dare you claw at my clothes? Did I say you could do that? Oh my god, how could you do that? I'm not trying to go for the Landon look. You might know some individuals that got the Landon look. Oh, good for you. You know Victoria's Secret model as well. Yeah. You want a chimney sweep too? Look, I don't do any of that shit. I'm such a bad boy. You can tell by my voice. Not fucking around anymore. Not taking the piss. You think I am? I've got better things to be doing. I've got moving forwards in life. Yeah, right. I'll see you soon, Sharon. Yeah, of course. Talk to you later. Goodbye, darling. Goodbye, love. And anyway, I think it's now time to move on. Oh, don't worry, there are some more accents I can do, but, just to really demonstrate what's really going on here, it's a circus show and performance, don't you think? The way things are behaving, the way people are claiming. And it just gets worse because now we're focusing in on a pair of apples. Okay. And this is from the words of people that supposedly claim to care and focus on the case to some extent. We got Denise Rogers Arnold. I like the other option, but apparently it got deleted. No way, he been deleted, Arnold. Denise Rogers, you get the chopper back. Was that the other option? Get the chopper back, but Warlike Raph injected himself with steroids, trying to build the absolute muscle, trying to become a monster. Rawr. Is that so, Denise Rogers Arnold? What was the other option? I'm interested now. We got Magic Mike Johnson. Not quite, but we got Mike. Warlike Raph helps keep the case going and is seeing the lies being told. He takes a lot of shit from the light side. I think he's fine. I watch occasionally. Fair enough. Big shout out to Mike Johnson. Or if there's anyone that knows Mike, tell him big shout out. That's fine. It's worded well and it makes sense. Yes, I've been on the receiving end from a lot of stuff. I have been on the receiving end from the light side, but equally from this very admin on this Facebook page known as Travesty. I received a lot of stuff from them too. Very unnecessary. All kinds of threats. Of course, we've got Wham Bam. Thank you, Pam. Throw your toys out the pram. Garrison says, yesterday, Warlike Raph put apples to his breast. Ooh, I've got breast. Yes. And played with the stems like he was doing something to those pretend nipples. How dare you, Pam? You are in no position to be talking. How dare you talk about my pretend nipples? I have real nipples, thank you very much, and they're very present right now. And they might even be popping through the top. Okay? How dare you criticize my nipples? I will never allow anyone to disrespect my nipples. They're very resilient, hard-wearing, and yes, all under control. Need I say more? Well, it sounds like you do, because you literally show a photo of me holding a pair of apples. I mean, at the end of the day, how else are you supposed to hold a pair of apples? You want me to hold 2 apples in one hand, 2 apples in the other hand? Roll up, get your Warlight Ref sweet apples. If you want to take a bite out of them, feel free to do so. See, when it comes to the tip, the core of it, which wiggles about, you probably do that by yourself when you're not even thinking subconsciously. So it's not really the end of the world. It's not too deep when it comes to playing about with the stem. I'm holding a pair of fruit up because Joyce Bergow needed refreshments. Joyce Bergow has been competing in a 24/7 4-day event cornhole cornstar competition. It gets a little bit dry. I'm talking about, the body getting dehydrated from throwing all those sacks about, getting them sacks into those holes, and you get tired. You need refreshments. You need nutrients and much more. And if I've got a fruit bowl, if I've got fruit with me, I'm going to provide that. I've got a banana near me right now. Okay, we'll use that later because it's needed. So it's just Pam once again. Take in mind, Pam Garrison is the individual previously that was talking about zoophilia and that Warlight Ref was grinding or humping a horse, which actually turned out to be an inflatable bouncy hopper, which wasn't even a real horse. But I think Pam actually thought it was a real horse. But don't worry, Pam, it's not real, okay? It's just a bouncy hopper. That's all it is. But I guess with Pam having some dark fantasies of zoophilia, now having fantasies with sexual encounters with fruits. What next? Oh, we'll get the advocates for avocados out. We'll scrape them out. We'll get the pineapple as well. We'll get the peaches and pears, cut them in half, and then what? Stick your finger in? I don't think so, okay? We're not going to be doing that round here. Moving on, Trav says to a different Michelle, because Brooke has been a very nasty witch to a lot of people upon Facebook groups and on YouTube, and I just happen to be one of those she has attacked repeatedly. So I felt that someone needed to finally stand up to her since no one else would, and here we are. Any other questions? Right, so Trav is making it out that he is the only one to stand up to BBC. Interesting. Michelle. To Trav, so you took her initials, BBC, and tried to embarrass her in some way? That's who you are? And Trav says, that is not who I am. Instead, I am someone who had his case solved back in July 2024, and I was crucified, attacked, stalked, had my privacy violated for it, and now it's a payback time. For Trav Davison to say I've had my privacy violated, whilst Trav Davison has broken multiple privacy guidelines on his own YouTube channel by using photos of others without their consent and twisting it in all kinds of ways, a massive hypocrite travesty is, based off that, and that's a valid observation. Trav says to Michelle, these people, very evil. Not only did they try to attack me, they ended up getting my ex-podcast partner, Reed, fired from his job, where he made $7,000 a month. Why do we have to be so specific with money exactly? Trav Davison is also the one that's gone about threatening to sue people in the past for no good reason. Do you remember that? I remember it. What else do we have here? Trav says, Brooke Bounds Carter, is it okay for you to be giving Warlight Ref money when you are absolutely clueless that him and the rest of the people in his community only referred to you as BBC for that reason? So what Trav Davison is getting at there is childish-like behaviour, insinuating that Warlight Ref and others know that BBC means big black something else. Is that what I think? No. Because what comes to my mind is BBC can stand for British Broadcast Corporation. BBC can stand for Big Black Cat. BBC can mean Broke Back Carter or Breaking Bad Carter. There's many different alternatives in light-hearted ways, and it doesn't always have to be dodgy, as like what Trav is getting at here. And then he says, can you not even tell that when Warlight Ref says BBC that he always has an evil smirk on his face? Is this some kind of like criminal minds psychology therapy session upon me? Because it's a little bit cringe in a way. Sorry, Brooke, but the dude Ref has been playing you for a long time, making fun of you forever. It's interesting because in terms of how I cover stuff and what I say, it's on my channel and it's public, so it's not behind anyone's back. People see it for what it is, and along the way, people have a good sense of humour. Even Brooke Bounds Carter has a good sense of humour, you know, along the way, where I've done like little references, the horse, cowboy hat, jewellery, wigs, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, even others as well have understood it and in a light-hearted way. So what Trav is trying to do here is poorly attempt to cause divide and conquer amongst varying people. So Trav is nothing short but a bit of a travesty, a troublemaker, and a problematic individual. And this does not help the case. It does not help the community. It just more so splits it up. So we're seeing it in motion right now, but it's not going to work, at least with me. Trav says to Carter it would take about 100 times that tiny amount for me to start being obsessed, honey. Maybe that's a response to Brooke elsewhere. I don't know either. I'd like to be answered. I think it's just ugly and immature myself. It does nothing for Noah's case, does it? Right, is Denise Rogers-Arnold referring to what Trav has done or what Warlight Ref has done as childish? Shebrook thinks Caden's mother are lying. You make no sense. Here is a quote for you. Maybe it will help. Only little people belittle others. Shiv Kira. I'm going to ignore your high-class comment because, well, I know better than to engage. Good luck, Travis. Be humble. That might take a bit or two. And that appears to be it for the comments there. So what have we really learned from this? Well, this page, which is all about justice and focusing in on Noah, is more so focused on whether Warlight Ref has a fragile ego, whether he has bipolar, and Pam obsessing over Warlight Ref's breast. Okay, so with all that being in mind, you know, we stand up, okay? So people are talking about Warlight Ref's breast. That's the latest, hottest, trending news, is that so? Why? What's so important about my breast? Why does it matter? You want them to move and dance? Well, you're not going to get that. You want to put your hands upon them? You're not going to get that chance. You are not deserving. You are not worthy of that. And whilst these may have come out to show, yeah, you can see even the nips are petty. Even the nips are pissed off, man. Really talking to the camera right now. You tell me, what do they say? Can you hear them? Are like voices in the wall, like the wall of Jan? What are they saying right now? What message do they convey? I mean, you know, anyone, Sharon? Maybe I'll let you, you know, measure them. No, of course, maybe let you fucking out, Sharon. Already halfway there, isn't it? Hands, all over. Anyway. If anyone was interested for unusual reasons, in terms of my breast, in terms of my chest measurements in total, at this moment in time, I have a 46-inch chest. Is that okay? Is that big enough for you, big boy? Okay. With that aside, I think the other thing that we probably should acknowledge right now is the reference to the frogs, because whilst all kinds of crazy stuff is going on, we did make a little brief reference to the over 300,000 emails some people have. I mean, I'm sure Michael Faiskaz has broken the record there. Michael Faiskaz has more emails than Hillary Clinton does in her entire life. So there we go. Big shout out there. Breaking the boundaries and barriers as we go along. Just like as I break the arch of this frog. This is a frog, and it means no harm. But you think I've only got one frog? Donna Bond, where are you? Donna Bond has sent over an informant spy. No, I mean, what I should have said. Apologies. Donna Bond has sent over one of her frogs for a tea party, and it has arrived, okay?
the frog appearing first time on camera besides this one. Let's get him into shot or so. Are you ready? Oh, there he is. One of Donabon's frogs. Looks a little bit cross-eyed, but not as wonky as some people is. Yes, the mouth does open. It is rubbery. There you go. Spread the mouth. There you go. You got the tongue as well. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Oh, frog's legs. Nice pattern to it. A little bit dirty, but it's been rolling around in the mud and whatnot. Okay. Oh, look at those legs. Oh. So it can do gymnastics as well as it wiggles about. Spin it around, but then, whoa, bloody hell, look at that. It's going really fast. The focus, it can't even focus in or keep up with me. Okay. So it's very flexible. Donna has flexible frogs, and they spin around crazy. And as well, if you wiggle it, it does jiggle. Okay, you like jiggly frogs? There you go. But of course, while this frog has come on over from the US, it's very hungry, isn't it? Keeping its eyes very close on the camera, because this frog can see people lurking in the background. Not as stupid as you think. Exactly. What's this frog? Well, that's frog. Oh no, what's going on here? I'm sure people are going to create some kind of conspiracies. Zoom on out, a bit blurred. Frog meets a frog. Oh, how nice. There you go. You can have a catch up. You can chat afterwards if you want. What's that? Am I going to be... Oh, yeah, of course. You want me to kiss the frog or kiss the toad? Kiss it to transform it into a princess? Oh my God, that's so pretty. It's going to melt me. Bitch, please. Why do I need to kiss a frog when I've already got a princess already? Yeah? There. Anyway, I shouldn't have tossed that frog because I still need to use it. Bloody hell. There we go. Okay. The horse is in the way. Sorry, what's that? There's a horse as well. Of course there's a horse. Because there was a requirement from somebody that they wanted the frog to ride the horse. And how am I supposed to fit a frog on a horse? Maybe that can do. Broke back toads, broke back frogs. Yeah, there we go. Anyone going to take any photos here? Michael Facecast, take a photo right now, get a screenshot, and maybe share it amongst people. I'm sure that'll be good. I don't know why that frog's lifting its leg up slightly. So yeah, we've got horse riding sessions for frogs as well. It's not just for Warlike Ref, because as you know, when I tried doing horse riding, I was facing the wrong way. I was doing like reverse horse riding. So the only thing I could see was the tail, not the head. Grabbed onto the tail because what other things could you grab onto, right? Okay, maybe it might be different for some people. Sharon, I know you've got good control, but when it comes to certain horses, some horses are a bit more wild than others. An Arabian horse may have more stamina, but another one may just have more strength. And some simply have it all. But anyway, there you go, frog. How's the grip? The grip isn't too great, to be honest. It keeps slipping about. So Joyce Bergow, I hope you're happy with yourself that you got the frog riding the horse to some extent. It's got me in the eye. But of course, with horse riding, you know what happens? You get hungry. The more, the harder, the faster, the longer you ride a horse for, you'll build up an appetite. You need to refuel yourself. And this is all very important nutritional advice. What would you be feeding a frog? Well, I wouldn't advise anyone to do it because I am a professional and this frog isn't exactly real. Did you hear that, Pam? It's not a real frog. It's all okay. Don't worry. Don't worry, man. Donna Bond isn't going to call the wildlife refuge on me. Not yet. The frog needs some feeding. And obviously, there is a size discrepancy, like many other things elsewhere. What happens? Well, yeah, okay, you just peel the... You might be wondering, why is it already exposed? It's because the bastard of the banana, when I tried yanking it off, it was tugging and it was getting stuck on the other stuff. So obviously I will have to eat this now. Not on camera. I've already put a banana in my mouth in the past when I did that demonstration, if you remember. Don't worry, all under control. It's all documented on my channel. As like with most things. Okay then. But then again, I might have to take the tip off because if it's in the frog's mouth, I don't want to be eating that because, you know, I don't know where the frog's mouth has been, right? So come on, frog. Just like that. focus in for a second. Yeah? Come on. Eat the... There. Fucking hell. I didn't know the mouth could open that wide. There you go. You know, frogs need to be fed with probably other food. This is just what I've got at this moment, okay? There you go. You get a mouthful of that. There we go. Joyce Bergow. This is how a cornhole competition actually goes. This is what the winning prize is. A stuffed frog full of banana. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Can you stop nibbling on it? Get off the banana. Okay? Ugh. Oh, no. It's all white around the bloody mouth. I'll have to clean it again. Great. I don't think so. I'm not going to be putting my mouth around that. Not that part. Hell no. Of course, why is it all over the... It's all over the place. Great. Last but not least, what's needed when training a frog is obviously... you know, this is the other thing. And, you know, we've got some ambassadors, right? It's always good to have an ambassador to represent the meaning behind something. Everybody give a round of applause to Rebecca Gagliari. Bit of on a low battery then. Charge yourself up. Plug yourself in from round the back. USB link. Lightning Type-C cable. Doesn't matter, Rebecca, because you can adapt to any situation, man. You can fit in tight spaces. And on treadmills too, which go at 1,000 miles per hour. So Rebecca Gagliari is an ambassador for vibrational frequencies, bandwidths, and wavelengths. Okay, really impressed, Becca. You've gone a long way since graduating the University of Warlight Rath. So when it comes to the frog, okay, we've got to get the demonstration table out. There is only one thing that's needed, is the giant muscle relaxing deep tissue vibrator, Beauty Gurumo. Beauty Gurumo, I have a feeling that you might not be here watching, and if so, what a shame. But don't worry. You can use this pottery wheel at a later time, but don't be drinking any liquids when using it because you're going to pour it all over the place. But then again, sometimes the wetter, the better. Because as the pottery wheel is spinning about and it's wetter, you can shape it in better ways to create a pot, a vase, whatever you want. But right now, what we need to do is see what the frog looks like on it. Yeah! We've got a spinning frog. Oh, bloody hell, I forgot. It's almost falling off. Hold on a minute. The vibrations. Oh my god, that frog is jiggling about. Okay. Let me put on maximum setting. Frog, stand still. Even he looks confused. Bloody hell, what's going on here? Yeah. That's how you control frogs. And if I hold it still, look at that vibration. Look at his face. He doesn't know where he is. Oh my god, man. Rebecca, is this what you looked like last night? Yeah, Rebecca. Vibrations, man. That's what it's all about. Cross-eyed. Even the mouth is going. He's talking to the camera. But what is he saying? What does it mean? Oh my god, my leg's aching so bad. Ah, the frog's fallen off. Hold on a minute. Hold the vibration. Ah, okay. There we go. So if you leave it on for a few minutes, it'll help relax the frog's muscles. And if you want to put him on the back as well. There you go. Look at that. He's having a great time waving his hands about. Hello. The frog's waving to everyone. Yeah, there we go. Oh, bollocks. It's falling again. So where else can this go? Well, the demonstration is, if you put it there, you feel the vibrations in the chest. And if I do it like that, when I'm talking, I sound like a robot. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I come in peace. I am not an alien. I might look like one within. Oh my god. Why do I sound like Amy Tuesday Horzemper? Hey guys, it's me. I don't know. But there we go. Let's turn it off. Whew. I forgot it's got a 4th setting. And as we know, whenever there's a travesty, if in doubt, whip it out. Bring it back to life. Come on, Frogman. Do it for Donna Bond. Yeah? Right as rain. Oh, Stop falling about. Why did it keep falling about? Yeah? There we go. And what was that, Sharon? What was that, Sharon? Oh, it reminded you of the past? Oh, this little thing. Why should it be reminding you of the past when it's still being used upon you? Or at least it will be very soon. Sharon, Sharon, Sharon. Anyway, with that being said, surprisingly, I'm not that tired. Because it's under control. Of course, if you want to rewind back, feel free to do so. But honestly, you see how wild this got? Puts into perspective, doesn't it? With how other people are, with how things have gone elsewhere. I'm sure this might turn some people on and get more people obsessed and really go on and on and on about it elsewhere at great lengths, but it'll just only show more about them than it does about anything else. Whilst others claim to care about the case and this and that, look where they're really at. See, I've made over 280 videos about the Noah Presgrave case, and 95 to 99% of them are very focused. And that will continue with time. So there'll be some more videos to come. Be on the lookout for it. If you want to hit the like, share button, feel free to do so. My name's Warlike Raph. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night.